And Keith, from a January signings perspective, I mean, given all the issues off the pitch, and especially when we look at last season too, the fact that no signings were brought in other than Dan Juma on loan, are you expecting a similar thing going into this window? Do you reckon there'll be no signings going in the door in Goodison?
I don't expect much activity at all. Hopefully, there's not much going the other way. Is what there's already rumours about some of the younger talent at Everton being taken away now. I hope that doesn't happen. Again, a period of stability would be nice, and to let Sean operate. He's proven that, to me anyway, he can get the team working together as a cohesive unit, and give them a chance to have a settled squad would be good.
Yeah,
and you mentioned potential departures. I mean, if Everton do get caught up in a relegation battle, and it's very possible, and this appeal doesn't get heard until the season has finished, I mean, Everton, let's say doomsday scenario, they are relegated, there will be a queue of players trying to get out the exit door. You think of Jordan Pickford, think of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the prize assets. They won't be playing the Championship next season, will they?
Well, look, that's a very interesting point you raise, Wayne, because look at this scenario that, as you say, people are like, okay, let's take Jordan as an example. He's going to be looking at, will the appeal be successful or not? Will we stay up? We may not know that appeal until very late towards the end of the season. He may decide on the basis of not knowing that he's going to want to make a move, and he and his agent may decide that they want to make that move. Whereas if he knew that the appeal was going to be successful, they may not move. Yeah. So this penalty goes way beyond in terms of what it penalises the club with, and the integrity of everything that's going on right now. So it's so dangerous, and the ramifications that come through and the ripples that go on beyond just the 10 points. You're absolutely, it creates an environment of uncertainty that is damaging, and it's really unfair.
I think the $1 million question, Keith, that all Evertonians will be asking is, you were in charge 2004 to 2009, had a remarkably successful spell in between then. How did the club get back to that sort of period where they once were? How are they going to rise to glory again? Is it going through the tactic of having a smaller team and recruiting in a different way? What's your overall opinion? How do they get back to where they once were?
Yeah, look, stability is the key thing. I think actually we're not far away from having a platform to build on. And if we did have that success, we managed to get some financial stability and everything cleaned up, then next season at Goodison is a launching pad into the new stadium. Then the financial stability will come even more. And so we're not far away from having that platform to go with it. But there's still so many off-the-pitch distractions to be resolved. We're a long way from getting there yet. But on the football side, I think it's not that far away to see where we can try and get to. Kevin Thelwell's done a decent job in terms of moving that forward with Sean Dyche. And so there is the emerging of a platform to go from. So it isn't impossible, but it's the off-pitch distractions that have to be resolved.
Talking of recruitment, Keith, can you tell us the story about the Riquelme transfer saga that went on at Everton during your time at the club?
Not really. I mean, there was genuine interest from his agent who was saying he wanted to come over, and we were interested in taking him. And it became a myth more than anything else. And there were certainly discussions. We were keen for him to come. David Moyes was quite happy to talk and to take him. But in the end, the agent didn't deliver what we were being promised.
Was there any other deals that nearly happened, like any other sort of superstars or future superstars who came really close to joining Everton during that time?
None that I would be able to talk about, really, because there were a few that we came close. But you got to remember, dealing with David as the manager, he was very thorough in. He wasn't one to just go on, I fancy this player and go and decide to get him. He'd go and watch him 5 or 6 times, and he was always very thorough that way. So there was never any real situations where we kept getting offered players and we would just say, a bit of stardust, let's go for that. We did it a lot more methodical way at that time, and that proved to be at least one way to success. I mean, you look at the team that we had at the time. I mean, the Artetas, the Cahills, the Lee Carsleys, the Tommy Gravisons, the Alan Stubbs and David Weir. have all gone on to do great things. And, it was a team of good individuals. So we put together a team, and that was important.
And
Could you see David back at Everton as manager?
Yeah, I thought he would have gone back, before. But, never say never in football.
Well, he's out of contract at the end of the season, isn't it? West Ham?
Yeah, well, I think it'd be difficult to go past what Sean is doing right now. I don't think there'd be a chance for that. I think before Sean had come in, then possibly that would have been the time. But now, things change. Look, you never say never, as I say. Things can happen, but I know he loved the club. He cares about the club, and we'll see. But I think Sean is doing a fabulous job.
You've just watched a segment from Football Insider's brand new podcast, The Inside Track, with me, Lewis Pearce, alongside the guests on the show. Thanks very much for tuning in. Please do give the video a like, comment your thoughts on the topic, and feel free to share on your social media pages. If you want to listen to the full podcast episode, click the link in the description below. Keep your eyes peeled for plenty more content and exclusives here on The Inside Track.